is Yosemite, because it's the most, like, you wait the longest for it, which means usually it's the best one. And I'm really thankful I went there because it helped me learn a lot about the environment and the beauty of nature. And I think it was probably the best field trip I've ever been on. And
Thank you.
And finally, to talk about band is Hannah.
Hello, my name is Kenneth Strong. I've been to Ocean Shore for around 2 years, and I've been enrolled in the band program for 2 years. I think Ocean Shore's band program is really good and really nice because I think the atmosphere is just really nice in general, and the band teacher, Mr. Gower, is also really great. He teaches students like the basics and pretty much everything they need to know. Along with that, he has a pretty good sense of humor. As you can see right here, I play the bass clarinet. Not much people know of it. I'll play something. All right. That's from Weezer. I love Weezer personally. Anyways, other than that, I believe that the Ocean Shore band program is really great, and I think that many kids from grades 6 through 8 have had fun with it. I've asked some of them, and I think most of them have had positive experiences with this band program. And me personally, I really enjoy it, like I just said. But yeah, I love band.
Thank you, kids. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So we're on superintendent and board special recognitions.
We did.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. This evening, it brings us great joy for us to be able to recognize one of our community heroes, Tanya Guido. It is with deep appreciation and admiration that we honor you today as the Ocean Shore honoree. For 2 decades, Tanya has been an unwavering presence in the life of the school. She gives selflessly of her time and talents to ensure that every student and every event and every project is infused with her passion, creativity, and joy. As the architect of our beloved school yearbook, Tanya has brought the pages to life, capturing the spirit of Ocean Shore each and every year. Her dedication to creating something truly special for our students has never wavered. She doesn't just oversee the yearbook, she works alongside the students, guiding them, inspiring them, and bringing out their best, all while infusing the process with laughter and happiness. Tanya's ability to connect with every child and make them feel valued is something extraordinary. Year after year, we look forward to seeing how she captures the essence of the Ocean Shore School community. But Tanya's contributions go far beyond the yearbook, whether it's helping with last-minute requests, volunteering for field trips, even when her child isn't involved, yay, or last-minute requests, stepping in to lead campfire songs at Yosemite. Tanya's always there when we need her. Her spirit is giving and contagious, and she's never too busy to lend a hand or a listening ear. Tanya has been a dedicated volunteer for school trips, including 2 incredible experiences at Yosemite, where her enthusiasm and her beautiful voice became an integral part of the campfire magic. Most importantly, Tanya, your heart is truly one of a kind. You embody kindness, warmth, and generosity. You know how to make everyone laugh when they need a pick-me-up. And with your compassion, you know when to lend a hand or a shoulder when someone needs to cry. You are the person that people turn to when they need guidance or a little extra joy in their day. And let's not forget the one-of-a-kind charm of your pink VW bus, which has become a symbol of the love and care that you pour into everyone. Tanya, your gifts do not go unnoticed. The love, energy, and warmth you bring to the school are immeasurable. And we are so incredibly grateful for everything you've done and continue to do for the Ocean Shore family. Tonight, we are honored to celebrate you. We lift you with your vision and your heart, your dedication, and your extraordinary contributions for Ocean Shore school community. You make the school a better place, and we are all better for knowing you and having you there and dear each and every day. Please come forward, Ms. Tanya Guido. When you walked in, you sat down and then you said, well, where do I sit? And then you said, oh my gosh, it says reserved. Well, we just want you to know this evening, we did reserve a space, not only in the seat physically, but in our hearts for you and your presence. Just as you continue to reserve a space for the children in the community at Ocean Shore. So thank you very much. So Pacifica School District Board of Trustees and Superintendent present the certificate of appreciation awarded to you, Tanya Guido. Thank you for your service and commitment to our students and staff, awarded this 20th day of November 2024. Thank you so kindly.
Oh, you want me to say something?
She's so shy.
Just gonna sing a little song. Thank you all. Most of you in this room have known for over 20 years, and I've been a part of Ocean Shore for more than 20 years, and it really is, it's my family, it's my home. Got two of my students right here, and I just love every year of connecting with these kids and the ability that Ocean Shore gives me to do that with everybody. So I've had 4 kids go through the program. I got my last one here, but I'm going to continue to be a part of Ocean Shore long after I have no kids there. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Corton, that was great, especially what is that? That's not a saxophone.
Bass clarinet.
Bass clarinet.
He said you might have not heard it.
Okay, moving on, we have communications, LSCA.
Hello, part 2. I came at 4 p.m. today to speak at closed session as well. When I came at 4, the focus of LSEA's public comment was around negotiations. We look forward to our first full day of negotiating this year, which happens to be tomorrow. We met in September for interest-based bargaining training. We met in October for half-day session. Tomorrow, as our first full day negotiating, will be at Ocean Shore School. And how appropriate that the Patty McNally Library has been reserved for us. Thank you, Ocean Shore, for letting us to get to work on your campus. LSCA wants to express sincere appreciation to the voters of Pacifica. While not yet certified, it appears that Measure EE has passed. We are very grateful for Bridget Hart, Michelle Gray, and Tara Knotts for chairing the effort. We enjoyed celebrating a successful campaign with you last Thursday. We look forward to working with the district to ensure we follow the language of the ballot measure and use this money to attract and retain qualified teachers, counselors, and school staff by providing competitive compensation to account for cost of living increases. LSEA looks forward to the superintendent's budget collaborative on December 11th. We are eager for the results from the demographer, and we look forward to working together to ensure that we staff classrooms to have quality education for our students. We hope everyone enjoys the fall break with their families, gets some rest, as there's a lot of work for us to do in the next few months. Thank you.
And next we have CSEA Shard.
I kind of want to say what he said, no. We lost power, so I couldn't print my speech out. Good evening, board members, superintendent, Dr. Williams, cabinet, and members of our community. Tonight, I stand here filled with gratitude and pride in our collective accomplishments. First and foremost, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to all our community for your incredible commitment to our schools. By coming out to vote and passing the EE, because I know it's gonna be certified, parcel tax, you have made an investment in our students, our staff, and our future. This vote is more than just numbers on a ballot. It's a testament to the trust and support you have for our work. And it will make a real difference in the lives of countless students. We couldn't be more grateful. I also want to acknowledge Dr. Williams and the cabinet for their responsiveness and dedication to addressing the needs of our staff. Recently, you listened to our concerns about the Paraeducator Conference, and I'm especially thankful for the steps taken to ensure that our members have full support. By covering the upfront costs of the conference, including airfare and hotel accommodations, you have lightened a significant financial burden for our members attending. This allows them to focus entirely on the professional development they'll gain, which will ultimately benefit our students and the district. Hopefully they can, run a professional development for the paras. On Monday, November 18th, I had the distinct honor of participating in the groundbreaking ceremony at Odsted School. Odsted holds a special place in my heart as it marks the beginning of my journey with the then Laguna Salada School District, from parent volunteer to classified substitute and finally as an employee. Odsted has been the backdrop for many cherished memories. Now, as we embark on the construction of the new workhouse housing project, I am thrilled to witness the next chapter in Odsted's history. This project represents not only progress, but also a commitment to supporting our educators and staff, ensuring they have the stability and resources needed to continue their incredible work in our community. Thank you for your partnership, vision, and unwavering support. Together, we are building a brighter future. And now for our above and beyond recipients. Our above and beyond recipients for November 2024 are Sylvia Rocha, paraprofessional at Ortega, and Santos Vicente Ramirez, custodian 2 at Ortega. Sylvia and Santos are hardworking, valued PSD employees. Sylvia is a paraprofessional working at one of our TK classrooms at Ortega. Sylvia has also previously worked with our English language learning students to assess them for English language proficiency. Santos works as a day custodian for Ortega School, making sure that the school campus is clean and safe for students and staff. CSEA Chapter 128 is proud of all our above and beyond recipients. Our classified employees are dedicated, hardworking people who care about our students, our schools, our district, and our community. CSA will continue to shine a spotlight on Pacifica School District's wonderful classified employees. We believe the hard work, the dedication, and the contribution of our valued classified employees should be celebrated and rewarded. Union proud, union strong. Thank you.
We have our student board representatives.
Hi, my name is Mateo Berlanik. I am an 8th grader at IBL Middle School and a student board representative. On Thursday, me, Chloe, and Julia had a meeting with the SAC and discussed what we wanted to do for our schools. We discussed many topics, including our district's fields, lawns, school lunch, and new recreational equipment. We also discussed our school's lawns instead of our school's pool fields. Oh, wait, we also discussed solutions to these problems with the SAC, such as buying new balls for recess, putting turf on our school's lawns instead of our whole fields as baby steps, and doing a Google survey on advisory day, that is mainly for IBL, to see what other students want. IBL is also having a canned food drive right now that looks quite successful, as there are a lot of piles of food that have been collected. And at Valleymar, they are continuing their canned food drive for the resource center, and they just had math night where they hosted a bunch of math related games in the MPR for all grade levels to enjoy. Thank you for your time.
Okay, people wishing to address the board.
We have one, Nicole Fletcher.
Two online.
Oh, one online.
Hi, my name is Nicole Fletcher and I'm a parent at Ortega. I have a first grader there and twins who will be starting TK next year. So I'm kind of just starting my parent journey here in the school district. I'm also proud to serve on the Ortega's PTO board as the parent council representative. Just started this year. So I'm here today to talk about a serious concern affecting our students. Our school has been without a mental health counselor for over 60 days. As you know, the Pacifica School District has an open position for the lead mental health counselor, meant to offer part-time support at Ortega. However, the job posting clearly doesn't clearly state that this position includes service for Ortega, which is troubling for myself, which is why I'm talking. While we appreciate the Valleymar counselor coming to Ortega on Mondays, it's simply not enough. This arrangement takes away support from Valleymar and leaves our students without the help they urgently need. Without a counselor in place, I worry about how this gap will affect our kids, whether it's feeling isolated, anxious, or overwhelmed. Without the proper resources, small challenges could quickly turn into bigger problems, impacting not only an individual student, but the entire classroom environment as a whole. Early intervention is key, and this is a situation that requires immediate attention. I'm asking the board to prioritize filling this position as soon as possible. Please use your networks, whether through teachers, parents, or community connections, to help bring attention to this role. Additionally, while the search for a lead mental health counselor continues, I ask if you can consider bringing in temporary counselors from any trusted organizations to help ensure that our students have the mental health support they need right now. Our kids deserve a safe, nurturing environment where they can thrive emotionally, academically, and socially. And I hope you'll make mental health the top priority for Ortega's youngest learners. Thank you so much for your time and consideration.
Do you have anybody else? I think just you online.
Christina Lee.
Hi, good evening. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Apologies for not braving the weather to join you in person. My name is Christina Lee, parent of 2 Ocean Shore students and field trip coordinator for 2 Ocean Shore classes. My comments this evening are made on behalf of the Ocean Shore community. We understand that the district is reviewing the policies and procedures regarding field trip volunteers to determine what changes need to be made to protect the children from harm and the district from liability. We wholeheartedly support the district's efforts in this regard. We want our children to be safe, and we want the district to be focused on serving the students and not on litigation. We further appreciate that while this review is pending, field trips may continue as they have been with parent field trip drivers. As this review proceeds, we want to emphasize our need, not desire, not want, and not hope, but need that any updates to field trip policies and procedures allow for parent field trip drivers, because a ban on parent field trip drivers would effectively be an end to field trips. Given Ocean Shore's expertise with safely facilitating dozens of field trips per year, we wanted to reiterate our prior offer and willingness to work together with the district in conducting this review. We recognize that in order to continue allowing for parent field trip drivers, those volunteers may need to fulfill additional requirements for clearance. Indeed, Ocean Shore itself is in the process of having all its volunteers complete training regarding sexual abuse and molestation, aka SAM training. To date, more than 80 Ocean Shore volunteers have completed the training. In closing, we want to note again our support of the district's efforts to improve field trip policies and procedures for the benefit of the students in the district. We at Ocean Shore are here to help the district to ensure any updates to the field trips, policies, and procedures continue allowing for parent field trip drivers, even if it means more requirements to ensure student safety while minimizing any liability exposure to the district. Thank you.
And Barbara, is there anybody else? Don?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello? Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. My name's Dawn Regi, and I'm a parent of a 5th grader and the PTO president at Ortega Elementary. You may be receiving our emails, and I'm sure there are many more that will be coming. When planning for this school year, the community of Pacifica asked you to prioritize our students' mental and emotional well-being by keeping counselors and those positions at school sites. Today is the 67th day of school and the 67th day that our students have not had access to an Ortega-specific school counselor, unlike all other school sites in Pacifica School District. We're a pretty understanding and patient community, but this is absolutely outrageous. As Board of Trustees, we're asking for you to prioritize outreach on this role. Please ensure that the role description is accurate in EdJoin and ensure that our students have increased access to counseling services during the remainder of the school year, as they have not this semester. Please initiate discussions with trusted vendors like YMCA or Star Vista to get a contract counselor in place at Ortega. And as we continue to wait, please direct Pacifica School District cabinet members to make time in their schedules to assist at Ortega. They can come to school, they can help with conflict resolution on the playground, they can help to facilitate community circles as they are credentialed individuals. Our kids can't wait any longer. Please help us. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else online? So moving on, we're on correspondence. Does anybody have any correspondence to report?
I did get 4 letters, which probably everyone else has got, regarding the counselors and the concerns around that. So.
Yeah, I received several of Ortega parent emails as well.
And I think I received about 8 altogether. And that was the correspondence that I received. Anything else? Okay, moving on to board superintendent communications. Linda, you want to start?
Sure. I had a workforce housing meeting, and then we had workforce housing groundbreaking yesterday, which was a lot of fun. I've had my one-on-ones with Dr. Williams. I also want to extend a thank you to the community for voting for in a positive way for EE. We still have a couple more days to certify it, but I think we're on our way. I also like to thank you. I've also been reelected for 4 years because we ran unopposed. So also thank you to the community for that. So that's it.
I will okay. I had a workforce housing meeting. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it to the groundbreaking yesterday. I've done my meetings with Dr. Williams, and then today I got to spend some time with Dr. Williams and Principal Corton at Ocean Shore School and the students, and that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that, so thank you for having me at your school today. Also, thank you for, I don't know, we got reelected because no one ran, but this is a hard job, obviously. Thank you all for voting for EE. That was really important. We really needed that. So thank you to the community for that.
Okay.
I had a music department meeting and an LSCA meeting with Megan Ellsburn and Dr. Williams and the Pacifica Collaborative. There was an individual workforce housing meeting and then the groundbreaking on Monday. And then also attended the CPAC meeting on Monday.
To add other than.
I had my regular weekly meetings with Dr. Williams, and I'm just putting this in here that I did receive everybody's emails from Ortega. If I haven't responded to you, I did receive them. I also had a meeting myself and Dr. Williams with LSCA presidents. These are something that is new, that LSCA over the years has requested access to the board members. And so this year we started, do we call them collaborative meetings, or what is the real title?
Yes, they are collaborative meetings.
Yes. And so in the 2 meetings I've been to, we've talked about different things, brainstorming. The last one had more to do about communication. And I would like these meetings to be a 2-way street. Sometimes when we're board members, we take a lot of criticism. And so I want to make sure that everybody's the same and equal and having equal time during these meetings, and that we're talking about the students too, and any programs that are successful out there. I would really like to hear about the successful programs that are happening in our school district. Then this one was really important. The next one, Dr. Williams and Needy and myself met with Josh Becker's office and his legislative aides. The meeting was focused on why Pacifica School District is always the lowest funded school district. And we finally have somebody who's paying attention. So we want to kind of keep that relationship going. Also, I attended the workforce housing groundbreaking ceremony, and there were other attendees there, including Assemblyman Mark Berman, the Pacifica Mayor Sue Bauderlaus, and other council members and everybody from Brookwood. And I just wanted to thank everybody who came to and supported us. And lastly, I just wanted to thank Pacifica community, parents, guardians, teachers, students, everybody who lives here for passing EE. I mean, it's not official yet, but it's been good.
Good evening. I also would like to thank the community of Pacifica for the seemingly passage of Measure EE. We are proud of the community support, and we look forward to engaging in efforts that will continue to strengthen our community and our district. Since the last meeting, I've attended, of course, a host of meetings, school visits. I had one today at Ocean Shore along with Trustee Doggett, and we had a great time engaging in activities with the students. I got to do some cooking and some art and crafts, and it was a great experience. In addition, we continue to engage with our labor partners. We do appreciate our partnership. We have had our standing board, Labor Partners Collaborative. It has been a way for us to really hone into issues that are of concern for our district, and having opportunity for us to engage in those conversations and look for solutions. In addition, I had an opportunity to attend the Pacifica Collaborative with Trustee Bradall, and we had an opportunity to share the good things that are going on within the district, as well as learn about what is going on across Pacifica. I joined the conversation with Trustee Patel and then also Trustee Villalobos regarding funding with Senator Josh Becker's office. And we are looking forward to more meetings and also hopefully additional outcomes and opportunities for us to advocate for increased funding for our district. Met with principals, class visits, and most importantly, the workforce housing groundbreaking has been a long time coming. I just want to thank everyone who played a part. Most importantly, I want to thank the Board of Trustees for having the vision and to be able to participate in making the vision come to reality. And so thank you all. And that concludes my report.
Now we're on the part of the agenda for information items. And the first one is teaching and learning, school plan for student achievement, success, and update for IBL and Bellum.
Yay. Good evening, Board of Trustees, Dr. Williams, labor partners, staff, students, and community. I am very excited this evening. We're going to look at the progress schools have made on their SIPSA or school plans. And we're coming near the middle of the year, and you'll have the opportunity to hear from all the principals regarding their school. The important thing I'm going to turn it over to our fabulous principals in just a moment, but I want to make sure that I again let you know that everything that we're working on through the Office of Educational Support is we directly align again to our ACE and to our learner profile. And it's been an instrument in working with the principals currently on the SIPSA, the processes, and what could we do better, what really worked. And so we're looking forward to that end of well, I don't know if we're looking forward to writing SIPSAs, but we're looking forward to reviewing the data and bringing all the schools together and then providing that update for you. So behind me, I have Ms. Kathy Alderson and Ms. Laura Broskovic, and they're going to give you an update on the SIPSA and a side-on-side comparison of how they are and how the schools are doing, how the students are doing, and both IBL and Ballymore.
Okay. Awesome. Hi, everybody. I'm Laura Vuskovic, the principal at Ballymore, and just wanted to thank the Board of Trustees and Superintendent Williams, cabinet members, everybody here for having us here tonight to talk about our SIPSA plans. Can you skip over a few more?
There's a clicker on the.
Awesome.
I'm Kathy Alderson, principal of IBL.
Awesome. So we're here to talk to you about the school plan for student achievement, otherwise known as the
SIPSA. So what we're going to talk about today in our presentation is basically the who, what, whys, wheres, and hows of the SIPSAs, and we usually refer to it as the SIPSAs. First of all, we're going to start with the what is a school's plan for student achievement. So the school plan, or the SIPSA, it's just easier, outlines our school's goals, and they're aligned to the LCAP goals that the district has. We outline from our goals, we come up with strategies and action plans to achieve those goals. It's kind of our roadmap, our guiding light, all of those metaphors, but it's really what we are looking as we progress through the year. And what's really cool about putting together a SIPSA is that the administration works with our stakeholders. So we work with family members, we work with students, we work with teachers and staff members. We all come together to make sure that our resources are distributed and are equitable, and our goals are meeting the needs of our students.
So where do we start with the development of the SIPSA? We look at last year's SIPSA, even previous year's SIPSAs. We look at those to just review the goals and the resources and how they were spent and how we did on them. And we use that information to review that new testing data that we have. We look at all sorts of data, the iReady, the CASP, the attendance, behavior, and we use that to not only look at all students, but dive deeper into subgroups of students, because we're going to use that information to really evaluate what needs we need, where we want to spend our resources to basically, find out how we can, improve student learning. And the next thing that we're going to talk about is, through this process of developing the SIPSA, we collaboratively create our shared vision for improvement. And it, like we said, gives us a roadmap. It shares accountability. It makes, the folks that are involved in making these decisions have a lot of buy-in because they were part of making it. And it's the plan for improvement. We define a plan with goals and resources to help not only improve student learning, but also to improve our practices as teachers.
So we have, we brought two pieces of data. I mean, just like a little bit of data. The two pieces that we brought, the first one is about our enrollment by ethnicity. And what we do as a committee and a team is we look at it and we come up with trends, we come up with things that we notice. We have added the 24-25 because we've started to monitor and look at how our school has changed this year. So we've thrown on that last column there. But what we noticed is that basically our enrollment data is showing us that our by ethnicity is that it's pretty stable. We are fortunate, we are pretty excited that IBL's population enrollment is increasing recently.
Cool. And here's some of Valumar's data that we had. Again, we haven't changed too much by our ethnicity groups. We did notice last year that our Hispanic population had decreased slightly. And we also noticed last year that our attendance went up due to the addition of a TK. And then this year we're noticing that our enrollment went down a little bit. So these are just some of the things that we look at. Another important data set that we look at are our subgroups. So this chart's broken up by our schools. The blue is going to be IBL and the gold is going to be Valymar. And we dive deeper into the all students. And we have three categories. They're historically marginalized groups of students that we focused on in our SIPSA. Students with disabilities or SWD, students who are socioeconomically disadvantaged, SED, multilingual learners, MLLs or English language learners. So in looking at Valymar's data, we noticed that before this year, a lot of those, all three of our groups had a slight increase each year. And those are kind of wonderings that we made as our group. And then this year, we noticed that they slightly went down.
With IBL, one of the things that we noticed, and again, these are important groups for us to take a look at, and is that the socioeconomically disadvantaged and the multilingual learners seem to be decreasing and our students with disabilities increasing. And when we added this year's on there, the 24-25, we noticed that there was a significant jump in our students with population with students with disabilities. Oh, okay, so we looked at lots more data, but we only showed two. But then we started and we thought about what are our goals going to be. And we have three major goals. One of them is for language arts, one of them is for math, and one of them is for school climate. So what we did is we came up with a goal, and basically we want to make sure that all students are increasing the percentage of all students is increasing at early on, meet or exceed grade level on the iReady test. We at IBL and Valymar too, we kind of chose the iReady because it's the same cohort of students. So we really can analyze how we are doing throughout the year. So from the beginning of the year, we want to see an increase to the end of the year. So we have a metric. So our metrics are for all students, and then we drill down into multilingual learners, socioeconomically disadvantaged students, as well as students with disabilities.
Valymar's goal number 1 is also very similar to IBL's, and it connects directly with LCAP goal number 2. We also wanted to see an increase of students who are meeting standard or exceeding standard. And so we did it for all students, and we also drilled into our subgroups because we wanted to see the same type of improvement from them as well. And our goal ultimately is to close that achievement gap that we see over and over with our historically marginalized groups of students.
Math is the same idea. So we took a look at all students. We're looking at the iReady results from fall to spring and making sure that we have improvement and hopefully significant improvement. And again, we're looking at all students, but then we're drilling down and making sure that those students, the multilingual learners, the socioeconomically disadvantaged, and the students with disabilities have the supports they need to be successful as well.
Valymar goal number 2 is very similar. It also aligns with LCAP goal number 2. You might notice that Kathy and I may or may not have worked together on our SIPSAs because we definitely had some of the similar ideas. But again, just looking for an increase in all students on their math from iReady from the fall to spring. And what's cool about doing this now is that we do have our fall data that you've seen on both of these slides, where right now we know how many students or what they scored on their fall data on iReady. And going into all of our ILT meetings and our site council meetings and our staff meetings, we can show this data, like this is where we're at, and this was our goal, this is where we want to be.
Before you go,
Mhm.
go ahead. The other thing that I wanted to throw in there is not only are these subgroups those that are suffering from the achievement gap, we want to really make sure that we're supporting them. But they're also students that we use our supplemental funds for, right? We're really targeting in on the multilingual learners and the socioeconomically disadvantaged students. So we really want to use that money that we get really effectively so that we can support those groups.
So now you've seen our goals, and another part of the SIPSA is creating strategies to implement these goals. So we get work together with all those stakeholders to come up with some strategies. Kathy and I got together and noticed that we had a couple of shared strategies for both our math and language arts goal. They started with professional development. We're lucky enough to have had really wonderful professional developments as a site, as a district this year with iReady, the science of reading, PBIS, and multi-tiered systems of support. We also really want to leverage the expertise in the room of all of our professionals, right? So we use our Early Out Wednesdays to have teacher collaboration and professional learning communities. We've also done some data dialogues where we just do some deep digs into the data. We look at our iReady and CASP and again, ask those questions, what do we notice? Why do you think it's happening? And how is this going to impact our teaching? Kathy and I at Valleymar and IBL are lucky to have response to intervention programs where small groups of students and even individual students are pulled out for instruction at where they need it. And we also
are working not with response to intervention, but we also have small groups where the ability to pull out some of those kiddos that we really need to boost their reading skills. Something as simple as word walls is on both of our SIPSAs so that we make sure that the academic language is right there for the students to look at and to read and to use during class discussions. We both have homework centers, so there's a place for students to go before and after school if they need additional help. And supplemental online tools. We have a variety of them, but the main one that most schools, all of our schools use is the iReady. The personalized instruction, personalized lesson plans. So, yeah. Well, that's me too. School climate. So school climate is our third goal, and it ties directly with LCAP goal number 3. And our metrics are all about attendance, improving attendance. But the goal is written slightly differently in the fact that I'm just going to read mine or our school. IBL aims to create a safe and inclusive environment that strengthens that family and student engagement and sense of belonging. We're hoping if we do that, then attendance will rise or, chronic absenteeism will decline, and also our suspension rates will also decline. So we have a slightly different subgroup here that we're looking at, socioeconomically disadvantaged. When we looked at the California dashboard, there were 2 groups that were of concern, and one was socioeconomically disadvantaged and the 2 or more races. So we really wanted to put those metrics in to make sure that we were addressing their needs.
Valleymar has very similar school climate goals. We want to increase in student engagement, and we focused on the chronically absent. So instead of raising, we're actually looking for a decline. And 2 of our groups that really popped up as an area of concern in this area were the socioeconomically disadvantaged and students with disabilities. So we made some numbers and hope to see a decline. And we have some strategies that we came up with to try and make this happen. And again, there's a lot of strategies that we listed on our SIPSA. These were some of the ones that IBL and Valleymar had in common. It starts off with, having those SEL lessons in classrooms so that we're creating that culturally responsive classroom. And we do that through our Caring School community's curriculum. Both of our schools also utilize restorative practices and positive behavior intervention systems. IBL and Valleymar are lucky enough to have a full-time counselor. They're able to see individual students and groups of students and do class presentations. We also invite a lot of school presentations to come to our site, like assemblies that focus on that's positive school climate, being kind, and that's it.
I'm gonna continue on with the discussion of like, that we really want to increase, community in the number of community events. We want to get more involvement from the parents, the guardians, the students, and make sure that we provide, a place for them to come and get together that's outside of school. We are implementing Stop It, which has proven to be really effective in, having a place for students to report immediately any kind of peer conflict and allowing us then to address it almost immediately. We have surveys that we send out. And we do it in the beginning of the school year and at the end of the school year. We're using panorama surveys, but also we both have school site specific surveys that our school climate committee, which is down there, has put together. And really to understand how our students are feeling. And we're gonna do that at the beginning and at the end so that we can really see if that sense of belonging and engagement increases. And then both of ours, we are lucky enough to have middle school students that are in our leadership groups and peer helpers as well to help mitigate that peer conflict.
So that kind of wraps up our presentation on just an overview of SIPSAs and a little look into what we've done with our SIPSAs. And we just wanted to thank the board for allowing us this opportunity. We found it very beneficial to dive back into this SIPSA. And it's put it on the forefront as we enter into our professional developments and our staff meetings. And we do, it's very, very important to have this as our guiding focus. And we just thank you for this opportunity. Are there any questions?
I just have a comment. First of all, year over year, this gets put together by the principals. And this is like the first year I've really seen it come back as a tool and through the course of the year. And I think you guys are doing a great job and thank you.
I echo that comment. And this is maybe more a comment for Dr. Williams or a question for Dr. Bowman and Dr. Williams is I wonder what the SIPSA would look like if the goal was 100% as opposed to an incremental improvement. What would we do differently in that environment? Because it occurs to me sometimes when we set incremental goals, and I know that's how the SIPSA works, so this is not me commenting on you should change the goal or anything like that. But when you set a goal of 15% more multilingual learners reaching meets or exceeds, when it's out of 50 kids, that's 7 or 8 kids we're talking about. And so what if the goal was 100%? What would we do differently from an intervention standpoint if this year we were going to get 100% of those students at meet or exceeds? And so I guess I would just ask both of you, not to necessarily answer right now, but is there, instead of an incremental goal with an incremental strategy, is there a big goal with a big strategy that we might invest in or work on to get to closer to 100% so that all of those 50 students reach what we know they can reach? So that's just my comment. I've noticed this in general, and sometimes when I see the numbers, I'm like, yeah, that's good improvement. Okay, that's 7 out of the 50. That's, 3 out of the 35. But what's happening with the rest of the students,
Just quickly, I probably don't need a mic, I talk loud, but we do look at that, and that's always the conversation. Our goal is always 100%. We do the small increments one because of the requirement, but also we want to celebrate the small successes. We you'll hear in meetings and talking to principals or cabinet members or the community, 1% it might seem small, but 1% is still an improvement. And so we take it step by step. The other thing with 100% is we have kids that we know that aren't going to be able to meet the goal because either special needs or any type of processing deficit. And so we want to make sure that the goals are attainable by not only the staff, but making sure that our kids are able to obtain them as well. And so we do those small increases with in mind that we always want to get there. I wish there was like one thing that I could say, like buy this or do this to and prove it and to get to all of our kids. I don't have that. And if I did, we would all be very, very wealthy. And unfortunately that doesn't exist. But what I can say is with the principals that were here tonight, professional development, data dialogues, our frameworks, like we're well on the way of putting things in place so that our students do and achieve at the level that's best for them.
Does anybody else have questions or comments? I just have one question and it's about the Stop It. I'm just wondering if you can give me an example of how that works. Like, let's say I was bullied.
Yeah, you just take your phone and you do the QR code and you type it in. All the students in our middle school have been pre-registered in it, so they just, that it recognizes them right away. They can even use their Chromebook to use it, so they make it very acceptable. They can even log into the website. So there's a lot of ways to access it, and they just type in that I was in the bathroom today and I heard some of this or this was happening, and they describe it. And there's a couple of questions that they answer, which help just categorize where it's going. And I get an email and a couple other people in this room get an email. And it's amazing because usually by the time I get to it, someone else has already answered it. And it's something like, can you tell me a little, thank you for responding and thank you for reporting this. And can you give me a little more information about this, for example, because it's all anonymous. So sometimes we need to, figure it out. Sometimes they do, listenings. And when in that case, I can go immediately and, talk to that student or talk to the other student that was involved and start the investigation.
My favorite is when, and it doesn't happen very often, but my favorite was when there's a register of peer conflict and it's in the classroom, it's happening right now. And I send it out and I just get up and I walk over there and I'm in the room. And I don't know who it is, I mean, they can tell me like who is the, the person that's causing the conflict. So I can go stand by that person, but I don't know who reported it, but I see the message that I'm there to respond and I'm there to support them immediately if possible. And like Laura said, there's an option to send a message to them. And most of the time we send a message quickly. We have county resources as well that will help us if it happens in the evening or something like that. We don't get it right away. But that was always my favorite. I've had like 2 instances, right? So, yeah.
Thank you, that's great. Any more questions? Okay, so
I just wanted to thank them and thank you both.
Yeah, thank
They've been
you.
doing a fabulous job and thank you for the comments.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we are moving on to organizational chart, and that's with Dr. Williams.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Board President. This evening, I'd just like to bring to your attention the organizational chart for Pacifica School District for the 2024-2025 school year. This chart is presented to provide just a snapshot of the organization of our district and the names and roles of hardworking individuals that support students, families, and staff. In addition to our overall district organization chart, each school and department will follow up and have individual charts as well to represent their school and their department efforts. All right, thank you. Any questions? All right.
All right. And now we have first reading summary of instruction policy update 6000. Dr. Bowman.
Good evening again. I am here for the first reading of the summary of instruction policy updates in the 6,000. The Pacifica School District works to ensure the district policies and administrative regulations are up to date to support students and staff of the local community. It's recommended that the Board of Trustees review and discuss proposed updates to the following board policies and administrative regulations during the first reading. Board Policy 6,000 Concepts and Roles. Board Policy 6164.2 Guidance and Counseling. And Board Policy 6177 Summer Learning Programs. These are provided by the bylaws of CSBA and were updated of December of 2023. And we're asking for you to review those for possible approval and during the second reading.
Okay, thank you. And then we're moving on to first reading of the zeros to the thousands and bylaw CSBA updates, December 23. Dr. Williams.
Good evening, Board of Trustees again, and to President Trustee Villalobos. I am here to bring forth the consideration or first reading of our 000 and 1,000 bylaws and updates. CSBA provides sample bylaws, board policies, and administrative regulations reflecting any legislative changes quarterly, with descriptions identifying major changes and revised materials, as well as editorial changes or technical revisions. If no substantial changes are made at the first reading, the policy will be placed on the consent for adoption at the next board meeting. The Pacifica School District works to ensure that our district policies and administrative regulations are up to date and to support the students and staff of our local community. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees review and discuss the proposed updates to the following board policies and administrative regulations during this first reading. BP Board Policy, AR 460, Local Control and Accountability Plan, Board Policy 500, Accountability, Board Policy 520, Intervention in Underperforming Schools, AR 1220, Citizen Advisory Committees, Board Policy 1430, Waivers, Bylaw Exhibit 1 and 2, 9321, Closed Session. You have reviewed the items. Might you have any questions? If not, this concludes my presentation.
Does
Thank
anybody
you.
have any questions? Okay, now we're moving on to our action items. And we have 403B, 45, 7B, restatement and amendment. Dr. King.
Good evening, Board President Villalobos, Board of Trustees, and Superintendent Dr. Williams. Tonight, we would like to bring forth a 403B restatement amendment to add Roth and loans and a 457B restatement amendment to add Roth and age 59.5 withdrawal to the board for approval. These restatements and amendments will expand opportunities for our employees in the Pacifica School District, which supports recruitment and retention efforts. A 403B and a 457B are both tax advantage retirement saving plans typically offered to public sector employees, allowing them to contribute pre-tax dollars from their paychecks, which then grow tax deferred until withdrawal and retirement. Following are a few benefits for employees. By contributing pre-tax dollars, employees lower their current taxable income, potentially putting them in a lower tax bracket. Contributions grow tax deferred over time, allowing for greater investment returns through compounding interest. And with the 457B plan, employees may be able to withdraw funds penalty-free if they leave their job, even before reaching traditional retirement age. These adoption agreements are to be used in conjunction with the 403B and 457B plan documents by Tax Deferred Solutions. The 403B plan was originally established by the employer, effective January 1st, 2009, with the previous amendment on March 27, 2020. The 457B plan was originally established by the employer, effective October 13, 2005, with the previous restatement on June 9, 2017. Therefore, it is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the amendment restatements to the Pacifica School District 403B plan document and 457B plan document as presented in the attached adoption agreements.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
No questions. I just had a question. So with traditional IRAs and everything, it's always been 59.5. So these, we're not following that guideline?
I believe that 457B was not.
Okay.
Any other questions, clarifications? Well, thank you, Carla.
Thank you.
You want to vote? The vote.
We have to vote on.
What was that?
We have to vote on that one.
Oh, sorry. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll motion to approve.
I'll second.
Please raise your hand. Motion passes 5-0.
All right, and now we're moving on to annual organizational meeting dates set for December 18th, 2024. Dr. Williams.
Good evening yet again to our Board of Trustees and President Villalobos. This evening, I bring forth the announcement of Pacifica School District's annual organization meeting date set for December 18th, 2024. At this time, our board will discuss meeting duties, roles, committees, governance, and also school assignments. It is our recommendation that the board adopt the annual organizational meeting date of December 18th, 2024.
Anybody have any questions?
My only question, I know it's gonna be a little bit of work, is if we could have the dates of the meetings or kind of the anticipated dates of the meetings, so we can kind of evaluate that in our selections.
You will have them.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
For the board meetings or committee meetings?
Yeah, for the committees.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the committees.
Any other questions? That was a good one, Linda.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Oh, we gotta vote on it. Do you have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Please raise your hand. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, and I can't believe we're here. We're at number 13, Board of Trustees, Superintendents, recap and future agenda items. Does anybody have any afterthoughts or recap?
I think a future agenda item that might be interesting, and Megan mentioned it in her comments, is just an update from the district on the use of AI, what you're seeing, what the challenges might be, how we're supporting teachers in that. I think that would just be interesting to hear from the classrooms and teachers.
Maybe does CSBA, are they working on that?
Yeah, I mean, less on a policy perspective and more just what we're seeing in
Implementation.
our classrooms.
Right.
It's happening very quickly. Anybody else?
I just wanted to say that at the CPAC meeting, the parents and special ed families are planning a Christmas party at Ingrid B. Lacey on the 14th of December. And I think it starts at 11 o'clock for the families of all the special ed kids, and they have games and activities and everything. It's really, I've gone the last couple of years, and it's really great group to be there. So
That's at IBM.
for any,
you said?
yes.
Okay.
So for any of the board members, especially to be able to attend, it's great, but it's for to support all the special ed families.
I think I have some time off.
It's a Saturday.
I did want to request something from the board members. Since we have our legislature's ears open about us always being the last fund or the least funded district, I wanted to put together an ad hoc committee, possibly called Pacifica School District Advocating for More Per Pupil School Funding. I'd like to focus on the per pupil and not the whole.
Right.
Yeah. And so I've been thinking a lot about it. I've been thinking about it last year, the year before, that it's going to take more than just the March meetings up in Sacramento, which we have never seen any progress from. And I'm sad to say that I think it's more of like an opportunity for a picture, that this is what your legislators are doing, but it's really not being done. And so I really want to focus on supporting the office of Josh Becker, and that we really need more funding, and it's for the students. One example I'll give you is, my tax bill is going to be $13,000. Somebody who lives in San Mateo, their tax bill is going to be $13,000. Yet our children are not equal. It's an inequity that's happening in our institution, and somehow we need to find a way around it or fix it or something. And so I'm asking the board if we can put together an ad hoc committee. And an ad hoc committee is very much like the workforce housing is an ad hoc committee. So this one would be of 2 board members, leading the parents and whoever else, community members who want to be part of this committee. We have to vote on it.
You are asking me to help establish an ad hoc
Will
committee.
you help me?
Yes.
Establish
Yes.
an ad hoc committee.
Yes, I will.
And that's it?
That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so moving on, that's it, unless anybody else has anything to say. Okay, so meeting is adjourned at 7:14.
Recording stopped.